It's not between two teams, but many to come. It's not just between the players, but also their machines. Sweat, not in the jerseys, but in their gears. It's about the race this time. Show up to cheer for Amchi Mumbai.
So far, we've had two brilliant battles here at Kuwait Motor Town in the Formula Regional Middle East Championship certified by FIA. Now, we have one more thriller to go.
欢迎回到我们的直播现场，即将进行的是国际汽联中东区域方程式锦标赛在科威特的第3场的正赛了。那么这个比赛周可以说是非常的精彩，已经进行了2场比赛，马上进行的是第3回合的正赛。So Jake, I understand the race 2 is reverse grade, but the race 3 seems getting very interesting since the qualifying.
Yeah, qualifying has actually given us a very similar style of race grid to the race 2 reverse grid. There are a lot of big names that are down the order thanks to the red flag that was thrown yesterday, and even Andrea Kimi-Antonelli had a pole position lap taken off him for track limits. So it's going to be a topsy-turvy field with a lot of overtaking potential and a lot of thrills and spills on the way.
那么我们看到呢，因为第2回合的正赛呢，前10位是倒序发车的。到了第3回合，因为在排位赛当中的红旗的出现呢，很多的知名的车手呢也都从后面来发车，所以今天的比赛呢会非常的精彩。不过在比赛开始之前，先让我们回顾一下第2场比赛的精彩集锦。
Well, let's look back over the race 2 highlights to figure out how things could play out in race 3. Well, race 2 certainly had action and drama written all over it. It was going to be a tricky one right from the get-go, but little did we know just how complex the racing was going to get. The RHGP trio led off from the start, but already there was going to be some drama all over the course of the race. Eventually we saw a bit of a battle as Rafael Villagomez managed to get himself into the lead, but Montoya was out on lap 1, Mini was out shortly afterwards, and then came the duel as Josh Dufek dived up the inside to get the lead. Nikhil Bora watched it all unfold and took advantage, 4th to 1st in one fell swoop. Josh Dufek fought himself into position 2 and waited for his teammate Taylor Barnard to close up. Then incredibly, Andrea Kimi-Antonelli had a broken rear suspension. No contact, just a car failure. The championship leader out. Then incredibly, the battle resumed between Nikhil Bora and Josh Dufek. Dufek worked his magic, trying every trick in the book to make the overtake. It was always going to be tough as Taylor Barnard moved into 3rd position, and Tina Beganovic, who had had problems earlier on with Luke Browning, ended up trying to work his way forward. As the Swede made up places, the leaders continued their duel, but Josh Dufek and Taylor Barnard were now through to 1 and 2 in front of Nikhil Bora, and the Swiss ace finally came through to give PHM their first win of the season, and Joshua Dufek his first Formula Regional win. And those 3 drivers are now all in the championship fight as they manage to move up into the top 5 of the standings. It is going to be quite a thrilling race to finish us off for the first weekend here at Kuwait Motor Town. Hello everybody, Jake Sanson here from the commentary box position, overlooking this glorious start-finish straight. What a weekend it has been. We've had thrills, we've had spills, we've had drama, controversy. Nobody has been exempt from a big battle and a long face of confusion and dismay. It's been tough for everybody on this amazing Kuwait Motor Town circuit. The first time we have ever travelled to an international motorsport event for single-seater racing here this weekend. They had 12-hour sports car racing last month. Now we have F4 and Formula Regional, and this place has quickly become a firm favourite amongst drivers. Say what you like about the facilities that were delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but 3 years ago, the plan for this place was simple. Put on a world-class event that drivers and fans alike will fall in love with. It may be 3 years late, but everybody in this paddock cannot stop raving about how exciting and how thrilling this Kuwait Motor Town circuit already is. In terms of the racing, it's exciting, nail-biting and incredibly dramatic. In terms of the thrill that the drivers get, they cannot stop singing the praises of this place, and it looks like it could be a firm favourite in international competition. It's certainly the longest circuit in the Middle East, and we spoke to a few of the drivers in Formula Regional to give us their take on it.
It's very high speed, and because the track's never been used before, it's been very sandy, so it's taken a long time for the track to get to the full speed, but it's very different and it's very technical, also very physical.
It seemed quite interesting, a bit European with the high-speed corners, so I quite like that. Sector 3, honestly, for me is one of my favorite sectors that I've ever driven. Such high speed, it's so complex that you always need to get it right.
Yeah, extremely interesting as it's a new track for everyone. It's very technical, and we've spent the last few days, finding out lots of things, both just driving and in the setup.
We knew it was going to be a challenge for sure. New track for everybody, obviously, for the drivers and for the team. So I was really looking forward to it, and it's kind of the first time in a long time we've actually gone to a new track.
And I mean, the track is awesome to drive. I love it. I've only done 2 days, but it's really nice to drive, really fun, and I can't wait to race really, and especially qualifying, because I think it will be a really nice track for qualifying, where you go with low fuel, new tires and optimum performance. I think it's going to be a mega track, yeah.
Well, nobody can tell you how good this race circuit is better than the drivers themselves who get to play on it. And we got to hear from 5 of the best. Taylor Barnard, Sebastian Montoya, Joshua Dufek, Aidan Neat and Lorenzo Flusha. 5 drivers who have all been towards the sharp end of the field at some point over the course of the last 6 races, including this one, of course. And it's going to be a really interesting one for the last man you heard there, Lorenzo Flusha. He comes into this race 5th on the starting grid, alongside his teammate Rafael Camara, and just behind championship leader and teammate Andrea Kimi Antonelli. There are some great opportunities here in race 3, with again a bit of an interesting grid. Pole position actually goes to Sami Megatunif, who inherited pole position from Andrea Kimi Antonelli when the Italian's fastest lap in Q2 was deleted due to exceeding track limits. But Antonelli only drops to 4th position for the start, so he's right in the hunt to go for his first win of 2023. It's incredible to think that he hasn't yet won a race despite leading the championship. Sami is with Feline Wang.
Hey Sami, you have a good pace this weekend. Is this going to be your first win?
Yeah, we worked really hard the whole week, so we got everything for it. Now we start P1, let's just finish the job.
Good luck with the race. Yeah. 那刚刚我问到 Sami 呢，他因为他整个比赛周都是有非常好的一个表现，他也提到呢，的确我们非常的努力，这个技师还有车队都做了非常多的工作，所以呢，他主要现在要做的就是把这辆车完好的去完成比赛就可以了。Back to you guys.
Thanks, Feline. We obviously hear the Chinese version of what Sami Megatunif told us as well, courtesy of our friends and colleagues over at CTVS. They are live on Chinese television as well. So Sami Megatunif and Taylor Barnard share the front row of the starting grid. Sami, very clear there. Yes, we've had good pace over the course of the weekend. They've had to really build it up at the Hyderabad Blackbirds MP team, but now they're ready to finish the job. Here's Taylor Barnard, who has been right at the centre of the action all the way through this weekend. He was 3rd on the road yesterday, but unfortunately he got a penalty for being deemed the instigator of that huge pile-up that we saw at Turn 2 in race 1 yesterday. Then he fought his way through to 2nd place from 14th on the grid this morning. A brilliant performance from Taylor Barnard, and he deserves that 2nd place. So now he goes from the front row of the grid alongside Sami Megatunif with a chance to win his first race of the season. There is the 63, Joshua Dirksen, who got pole position yesterday, but it lasted all of about 30 seconds as he was one of the drivers taken out in the run to Turn 2 yesterday. So this is another chance for the Paraguayan to showcase what he can do. And how about that? He actually has the República Paraguay logo on his helmet. He's very proud of his national roots, and he is there in 3rd position for the Hyderabad Blackbirds MP team. Now, there is a little bit of an explanation to do here for this man, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. He still leads the championship despite retiring in race 2 from a broken left suspension. I went and spoke to Andrea Kimi Antonelli over lunch. I said, was there any contact? What happened? He said, nope, nobody hit me. The back of the car just collapsed. There was nothing I could do about it, and we knew we weren't going to go any further. So a real shame for Andrea Kimi Antonelli. And you know racing drivers, they know when they've been hit by somebody and they will let you know. But on that occasion, Andrea Kimi Antonelli just said it was one of those things. We had to retire. Big shame, but we are still leading. We're still hunting for the win. So Andrea Kimi Antonelli lives to fight another day. There's Lorenzo Flucha, the Spanish driver. Prolific across the single-seater world the last couple of days. And he actually has Tuka Tarpanen there, going to wish him well. They're in the same team, of course. Tuka in F4 and Lorenzo Flucha in Formula Regional. Lorenzo Flucha looking for his first win in Formula Regional. He's just seen his good childhood friend Joshua Dufek take the win in race 2. He would dearly love to join him if he can get the opportunity to do so. But he's got another of his prolific karting aficionados alongside him on the starting grid, starting from row 3 of the grid in P6. The Brazilian charge for the Mumbai Falcons team, Rafael Camara, is going to be there from P6 of the starting grid. So a fascinating situation for all of the contenders as they gear themselves up, ready for an exciting battle. Great to see your comments once again. A lot of fans deciding that they know what's going to happen on this one. So we're going to get to see how things are going to be from the fans' point of view. Jackson Grosser says, what rating do you think Kimi's title-winning F4 seasons were? Right up at the peak. You have to say that, right up at the peak, and that's why he's in Formula Regional, and why after 5 races, he may not have won any races yet, but he is leading the championship. He has scored the most points, so it's definitely going very well indeed. Nika Zanidis pointing out, it really is incredible that Antonelli was born in 2006, the year that Michael Schumacher made his first retirement from Formula 1. Alan Vindell points out that he predicts 70% will be consumed by safety cars. Oh, don't be such a naysayer. Formula Regional is really good when it gets going. Hopefully these guys are going to have learned their lessons from the first 2 races, and we're going to have a similar race to what we had in race 3, which was a pure lights to flag victory for Mari Boya. Great racing. There was no yellow flags, there was no safety cars, there was no race stoppages on that occasion. Hopefully we're going to get another race like that. So a really exciting situation then for the contenders. But now it's going to be another sensational run for the contenders in this one. Formula Regional about to get underway for the 3rd time. This is definitely going to be a tough battle for all of our Formula Regional contenders. Watch for Joshua Dirksen in this one. He lines up alongside Andrea Kimi Antonelli on the 2nd row of the grid. But Dirksen and Antonelli will definitely give us a bit of a show. Interesting to note that obviously there were quite a few drivers in this qualifying session that find themselves right down at the back of the grid. So car 34 drops 3 positions down to 25th on the starting grid for race 3. And there is also car number 8, will drop 1 position on the starting grid. So that is Rafael Camara. So he would have actually been 5th on the grid. So that's obviously for one of the incidents further on in the weekend. But Francesco Braschi will start towards the back of the grid. Right at the back of the grid, in front of me in the PHM, is Nikita Bedrin, who had a horrible qualifying session yesterday. Didn't get a lap time in after the car broke down in Q2. There is one car that is not starting race 3, and that is the Hyderabad Blackbirds MP car of the American driver Brad Benavides, whose car is still in repair mode after the accident that we saw in yesterday's first start. So unfortunately Brad Benavides is not participating in race 3, as he didn't this morning either. But the crew are working very hard to get that car ready for Tuesday. They are in a bit of a race against time to do that, because there was a lot of damage to Brad Benavides' car when he went for that barrel roll over the course. But fortunately he is okay. The car, however, has seen better days. So the contenders are gearing themselves up, ready for the start. Ankit Singh Padeshi wants us to know, how many laps will they race for? Well, I can tell you it's going to be 28 minutes plus the additional lap. So how long is a piece of string? It very much depends on how clean the race is from the start, how many laps we spend behind safety car, and how many opportunities we get to see clean green racing. I, for one, would love to see a race from start to finish with no safety cars, no red flags, just an out-and-out brawl. So Sami Megatunic from pole position, Taylor Barnard from second, third will be Joshua Dirksen, fourth place will be Andrea Kimi Antonelli. All four drivers are seeking their first win of the season. In fact, would you believe it, in the top 10 positions, not a single driver on this grid in the top 10 has won a race in Formula Regional in 2023. Bring it on. Sami Megatunic and Taylor Barnard on the front row of the starting grid. France versus Great Britain. Joshua Dirksen lines up alongside Andrea Kimi Antonelli on the second row of the grid. Then Lorenzo Flusha beside his teammate Rafael Camara. The Mumbai Falcons occupy row 3. Pepe Marti is alongside Aidan Neat, Pinnacle versus Prema. And rounding out the top 10, Matthias Sagazeta alongside the rookie, Luke Browning. Row 11th on the grid, Davide Revesh lines up alongside race 2 winner Joshua Dufek. We've got a car not moving on the straight. Gabriele Mini and Rafael Villagomez are on row 14. The car that stopped is Francesco Braschi. Michael Sheen and Sebastian Montoya are together on row 8. Giovanni Mascio and Niels Kulin are together on row 9. And then rounding out the top 20, we have Dino Beganovic and Daniel Mavlutiov. On row 11 of the grid, we have Han Chen-Yu and Nikhil Bora, race 2 winner in Dubai. Then it is Mari Boya, race 3 winner in Dubai, alongside Taz Indervavazak. Then Francesco Braschi, if he can get the car started, and Wang Zhongwei of R&B Racing from China, and Nikita Bedrin, who didn't get to set a lap in qualifying in yesterday's second session. Brad Benavides will not start. Francesco Braschi, if he can start, will have to do so now from the pit lane, as the marshals have managed to clear him from the start-finish line. There he is in pit lane. So if they can get him started, he will now have to start the race from the pits. And obviously the team at RHGP have managed to get him push started. There we go. So Francesco Braschi will now start this third race of the weekend from the pit lane. A really thrilling battle awaits us here for this third race of the weekend, the sixth race of the season. But who is going to get the victory? Not a single driver in the top 10 has not won a race this season. That is quite a stat. Mind you, 11th position on the grid is a man who has not either. Leventa Revesh, 12th position is the highest race winner on this grid. Joshua Dufek is 12th of the other race winners this year. Dino Beganovic is 19th. Nikhil Bora is 22nd. And Mari Boya is 23rd. Talk about open playing field. Who on earth is going to get the victory in race 3? Whoever it is, they could become the 5th different winner in 6 races. We are in for an absolute thrill fest here for this third encounter of the weekend. The cars making their way to the starting grid for the third race of Formula Regional Middle East Championship, certified by FIA 2023 on the brand new Kuwait Motor Town circuit. Jake Sanson with you in the commentary box. And my goodness me, have we had thrills and spills so far this weekend. Dino Beganovic coming through to the victory in a crazy race 1 yesterday that saw a huge pile-up take out 9 cars. In the race earlier today, battles galore that saw Joshua Dufek claim his first win in Formula Regional. For race 3, your guess is as good as mine. The top 10 drivers on the grid have not won a race this year. So it's time to go to battle for the third and final time this weekend in the second round of 2023's Formula Regional Middle East Championship. Who is going to get the victory? The lights come on, and when they go out, we'll be underway. Let's do it! A great start by Taylor Barnard, but Sami Megatunic's got the perfect launch. Dirksen's got ahead of Barnard. So it's Hyderabad Blackbirds MP 1-2. Megatunic in front. Dirksen in second place. A little bit of a run wide from a couple of the cars down the straight. The teammates are going to be dueling against each other. Dirksen's got Megatunic on the run. Watch for Barnard, he's a little bit too far back, but Flusha's made a good start in 4th position. Round the outside, Dirksen's going for his teammate. The rest of the field billows through, there's a spin, it's Montoya. Montoya spins, and there's another spin further back. But it's still 1 and 2, Megatunic in front of Dirksen. Flusha is going to make the move there. And it looks as though we've got one of the Premers in trouble. I think that's Michael Shin. So big problems already on the first lap. 2 or 3 cars having an issue. Montoya spinning around. Oh, and there's a collision. That's the Mumbai Falcons car going around with the collision from Barnard. Barnard and Flusha have come together. Barnard is out. Flusha is out. Disastrous. No, that's Kamara. That is Rafael Kamara. Barnard and Kamara have come together, and it's safety car. Flotsam and jetsam everywhere you look, so it's safety car. But Barnard and Kamara have collided, and they are out of the race at the far side of the course. Rafael Kamara hasn't had a clean race all season by the look of things. Certainly not this weekend. My goodness me. It has been drama all the way. And Kamara and Barnard are out. Safety car. Well, a few giggling faces at high tech. And it's because their boys, on the whole, are out of dodge. But that is one of the Premers walking away. That's Michael Shin. And we've got another car up there as well, actually. I think that's the Hyderabad Blackbirds car. Or is that one of the pinnacles, actually? That might be the pinnacle of Taz and Vuvuzak. Well, there's Michael Shin in the Premer. He's out of the race. Where's Sebastian Montoya? Did he get going again? Yes, he did. So Montoya's recovered and has rejoined in the back of the field. So we've lost Barnard, Kamara. It's Rafael Villagomez that's gone off. So it's actually Villagomez in the pinnacle, not Taz and Vuvuzak. He's actually climbed to 14th. So let's try and unpick things at the moment, because Michael Shin is out, so is Rafael Villagomez, so are Rafael Kamara and Taylor Barnard as the safety car picks up the field. So Sami Megatunic leads his teammate Joshua Dirksen, then Andrea Kimi Antonelli in 3rd position. Lorenzo Flusha is 4th, Pepe Marti is 5th in front of Aidan Neat, Luke Browning, Josh Dufek, Gabriele Mini, and in the top 10 is Matthias Sagazeta. I couldn't help but smile there and giggle, because it doesn't matter what happens around him. Andrea Kimi Antonelli somehow seems to find himself in the top 5. Now, admittedly, he retired from the last race, but that was by no fault of anybody's. The car just had a collapse of the left rear suspension. One of those things. Who knows where he could have finished had he kept going. As far as the race itself is concerned in this one, all smiles at Mumbai Falcons, 3rd and 4th. Antonelli and Flusha looking strong here. So they're just working their way through the lineup. They're just going through the running order. Megatunic, Dirksen, Antonelli, Flusha and Marti. That's the top 5. Watch for Pepe Marti. Don't forget, he was 2nd in the championship last year. He's not had a good start to the year so far. But he is a very competitive youngster, Pepe Marti. He's obviously going to be in the Grand Prix paddock this year, racing in FIA F3. So worth watching out for Pepe Marti. He's definitely going to have a very strong race battle. So now we're just waiting to see how the clean-up job is going to go. Obviously, there are several positions to deal with. Let's have a look at the replay. This is the run down to the first corner. Nothing wrong in the first 2 between the 2 teammates, Megatunic and Dirksen. Look, they give each other just about enough space. But watch Montoya. He's the one that pirouettes around. There might have been a little bit of a love tap there. Shin and Villagomez have a big accident behind them. Big contact. But then what we're about to see, if we go a little bit further round as well, is that Kamara getting his run on the inside, round the outside, Kamara and Barnard. Barnard doesn't give enough space. Kamara commits around the outside, and they just tangle. I would say that's a racing incident between those two. I don't think you could really point the finger at one driver or the other. Kamara feeling like he could run it round the outside. Barnard is obviously committing to the racing line, which he has every right to do. But Barnard and Kamara tangle and are out of the race. Very unfortunate. So there's two drivers that won't be taking their first win in Formula Regional Middle East 2023 this time. Sami Megatuniv leads the race. Joshua Dirksen in second. Andrea Kimi Antonelli in third from Lorenzo Flusha. Then Pepe Marti, Aidan Neat, Luke Browning, Joshua Dufek, Gabriele Mini and Matthias Zagazeta. Into the pits. Somebody is coming in. I think Levi Revej is actually pitting. So the Hungarian that started race 2 from pole position is coming into the pit lane. So a big problem for Levi Revej in the RHGP car. Not what he wanted to see at all. So it's very much a big problem for him. Now Rafael Kamara is currently 6th in the standings on 44 points. So him retiring from the race is a big hammer blow. But then so it is too for Taylor Barnard. Now what about Dino Beganovic, who is 2nd in the championship? Well, he's up to 11th behind Zagazeta. So he has a real chance in this race to score some decent points now. Antonelli is looking at 3rd. And if he stays there, that'll put him on 6th. But if he can catch and get past Megatuniv and Dirksen, winning his first race of the season, now that one turn 2 incident involving Ford car. Now that, of course, Martin Rafael Gomez. Two drivers that are initially really interesting contenders. But still, the battles are raging here. And the safety car proceedings, of course. So the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP cars are 1 and 2. Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Lorenzo Flusha for Mumbai Falcons, 3 and 4. Then Pepe Marti in the Pinnacle, Aidan Neat in the Prema, the high-tech of Gabriele Mini, and then it is Matthias Zagazeta in 10th place, the final point for the time being. Forecast to clear up means it obviously takes a little bit longer than most. So obviously there's still quite a long way to go to sort out how this race is going to play out. But the safety car stays out in order to assist the marshals in cleaning up the mess from those 2 separate incidents. As we had a collision for Rafael Villagomez and Michael Shin. We also had a collision for Taylor Barnard and Rafael Kamara. 4 drivers out on the first lap. So now this is all coming down to patience and discipline for Sami Megatuniv and Joshua Dirksen. 2 Hyderabad Blackbirds MP teammates wanting to emulate their stablemate Mari Boya, who took the win in race 3 in Dubai. Can one of them take the win in race 3 in Kuwait? Tough to tell. Tough to figure out how this is going to play down. Matthias Zagazeta is currently in the points in 10th position, but he's got Dino Beganovic right behind him. Then it's Mavlutiov, Inter Furvazak, Mari Boya, Nikita Bedrin and Nikhil Bora. Then Han Shenyu, Giovanni Mascio, ahead of Niels Kulin and Wang Zhongwei, Sebastian Montoya, Francesco Braschi and Levi Revej. But Levi Revej is currently trying to close up on the rest of the field to catch up to the tail end. Because currently Francesco Braschi is down at the back of the field in the queue. But Levi Revej is trying to catch up with the drivers in the fray. I can tell you it's taking a little bit of time to clean up the wreckage for Kamara and Barnard, because of course you've got 2 Bobcats that have already just been clearing up the mess from 1 incident, but they also have a 2nd incident out there on the same lap. So this one will take a bit of time. Now for those of you who are screaming, why don't they just red flag it and continue racing? They certainly don't have to in the officials' office. If they've had the attitude of, well, we've told the drivers to behave themselves, if they can't keep racing without these incidents, then it's them who suffers. We're going to take away the racing from them. so that they learn the lesson. It's not exactly a bad attitude to have. These guys have obviously got their race to focus on, but the officials are obviously very, very hard at work trying to keep them on the straight and narrow. So if ultimately the drivers are the ones that have the time taken away from them, then that is obviously the attitude that could well be taken. They've already had some red flags over the course of the weekend. So Sami Megatuniv, Joshua Dirksen, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Lorenzo Flusha. Not a single race this weekend at Kuwait has gone by without the safety car's involvement, but it's coming in. Safety car lights have gone out. Safety car in at the end of this lap. So in Formula Regional they do have radios to the drivers, so there you go. The mechanics are telling their drivers safety car in at the end of this lap. Megatuniv, Dirksen, Antonelli, Flusha, Marti, Neat, Browning, Dufek, Mini and Zagazeta. The highest previous race winner in this 2023 championship is in P8. That is Joshua Dufek. So it's time for Megatuniv and Dirksen to back them up. Now Megatuniv's gone for it. He drops the hammer and leads the field out of the final turn. And into the course they will go, battling for position. So in Kuwait Motor Town in race 3, we are green, 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 green once again. So here comes the challenge from Joshua Dirksen. He's going to try and get close to Sami Megatuniv. Watch for Andrea Kimi Antonelli as well in third. The field flies through turn 1, a little bit wide from Mari Boya as he goes wheel to wheel with the 13 of Joshua Dufek, I think that is. No, my apologies, that's the 15 of Nikita Bedri. Down to the breakers. Oh, more problems, more contact. That's Dufek getting a little bit too close to Luke Browning. They just rub wheels. They both keep going though, but they have lost positions as a result. Whoops, that's not the racetrack, Mari. Mari Boya just skipping over the corkscrew there as Luke Browning runs wide. I wonder if he's got a puncture. So a couple of drivers just doing their best to keep it out of harm's way, but it gets a little bit tough around this course, doesn't it? Megatuniv leads, Dirksen second, Antonelli's already trying to catch him in third. As the squabble continues, let's have another look at it. Just the tiniest bit of contact. Look, Dufek was squeezed there by Neat to his left, and Dufek had nowhere to go but into Browning. Racing incident for me. Nobody at fault, nobody malicious, but 3 cars into 1 minute racetrack are not going to go. And Montoya trying to work his way back up through the field. You can see the Red Bull colours there, just trying to work forward. Has a battle going on there between Taz in the Vuvuzak and Nikita Bedri. So Sami Megatuniv leads this race. Whoops, that's a bit of a run wide there from Taz. And now down the straight, this is Dufek trying to take on Gabriele Mini. Joshua Dufek gets the move on the Italian and he's through. Bedrin, meanwhile, is trying to take on Taz at the Vuvuzak, and he gets the move. Good move from Bedrin. Good move from Dufek as well. So Megatuniv leads, Dirksen, Antonelli and Marti. Pepe Marti has got through into 4th in front of Lorenzo Flusha. Then Neat and Beganovic. Zagazeta is in 8th. Then Dufek, Mini, Bedrin, Pora, Vuvuzak and Browning. Side by side. There goes the move to defend from Antonelli. Dirksen really having to get his elbows out to keep Antonelli at bay. Whoa! Hopping and skipping over the cut. Antonelli's through as Dirksen runs off the road. Antonelli runs off the road as well. That got very close between the two of them. But I think there was a bit of a hop and skip and a jump for Pepe Marti off the curb. Lorenzo Flusha could tighten up again here with Aiden Neat close in behind as well. And watch for Dino Beganovic in 7th place. Well, both Antonelli and Dirksen, let's see what happened. So look, Antonelli's caught the bollard on the inside, Dirksen's caught it on the outside, and they've both run off the road. Antonelli just able to keep it on, and then so too Dirksen. Well, is that 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, or is there going to be one of them gaining an unfair advantage? Tough to tell. But all of this has given Sami Megatuniv a dominant lead up front. Exactly where he wanted to be too. So a fascinating scenario, a great situation as up front Sami Megatuniv leads Antonelli and Dirksen. Antonelli through to second again. Still not the lead, still not the victory Antonelli wants, but big points. Marti and Flusha, the two Spaniards, battling away for P4. Into the next lap we go. And still the battles rage on. Into lap 7. Megatuniv, Antonelli, Dirksen, Marti, Flusha, Neat, Beganovic, Zagazeta, Dufek and Bedri. Still some big battles all the way through this field as now we're battling for 4th place. This is Marti versus Flusha. Flusha trying to get in round the outside of Pepe Marti. Can he commit? Round the outside. He locks up. Meanwhile, further back, that's Beganovic getting through on Aidan Neat. So Dino Beganovic makes a place. He's up in the 6th position now. The Super Swede is charging forward. Look at Flusha putting Marti under pressure. He's got up alongside. Can he cover him off? Flusha is through. Lovely overtake. But can Marti hold him around the outside and tuck back in up the inside? Marti's going to get back on terms with Flusha. Flusha around the outside. And it's going to be Lorenzo Flusha. Brilliant from Lorenzo Flusha. He held on to it. Marti drops back to 5th position. And Dino Beganovic running a solid race in behind as well in P6. Aidan Neat is riding behind him in 7th position. Some good battles on the far side. So Marti, Flusha, Neat and Beganovic all in the hunt, but Beganovic is now right on behind his teammate and Pepe Marti. Lorenzo Flusha up to 4th, Marti up to 5th, then Beganovic, Neat and Zagazeta. Zagazeta has clearly got a much stronger car this time than he did previously. There is Dirksen dropping away from Antonelli. Then Flusha, Marti. It looks like Dufek diving up the inside of Zagazeta and he's through. Good move from Josh Dufek. He got the win in race 2. Now he's up to 8th. So a great charge forward as Megatuniv leads Antonelli by 2.3 seconds. But Antonelli sets the fastest lap at 1:48.9 from the Italian stallion. Through they come. No problems at all for the leading 3. Megatuniv, Antonelli and Dirksen. Bit of a defensive tactic from Flusha, but here comes Beganovic on the inside, round the outside. Beganovic holds it round the outside and gets past Pepe Marti. Terrific from Dino. Dynamite Dino is on the charge. 5th position for the Swede. Excellent run. And so Dynamite Dino is up in a 5th position past Pepe Marti. Then Neat, Dufek, Zagazeta and Bedrin. 11th is Gabriele Mini from Bora in Ververzak and Hahn. Then it's Boya, Machio, Browning, Montoya, Revej, Kulen, Mavlutyov, Brashi and Wang Chongwei. So still they duel for position. Flusha trying to step away a little bit here from Pepe Marti, who's obviously now lost position to Dino Beganovic as well. So Flusha and Beganovic having a good, solid charge after 3rd place Josh Dirksen. They've got a lot of time to make up though. Watch for Dufek. Dufek has now got himself an opportunity to move forward here as well. Oh, Aidan Neat has fallen to the back of that queue by the look of it. So Dufek and Zagazeta are now ahead of Aidan Neat, I believe. We'll double check that as they come across the line, but certainly Megatuniv leads Antonelli. The gap was 2.3. It's now 1.5. Antonelli has gained 0.8 of a second in 1 lap. The cavalry is coming. Antonelli charging after Megatuniv. He's made up 0.8 of a second in 1 lap. If he does that for the next 2 laps, he's going to be all over him. Kimi Antonelli hunting down Sami Megatuniv, going for his first win of the season. The championship leader. Here comes the big move from Marti. But Dufek is going to hold it, is he? No, Marti intimidates him into the mistake. Pepe Marti, ruthless efficiency, forces the mistake from Dufek. And so Pepe Marti manages to pick up the pieces. That was cunning, really cunning from Pepe Marti. So Marti retaliates after Dufek had already got past him. And then we have Zagazeta and Neat. Let's look at this again. Watch this so carefully from Marti. Look, big dive, but he backs off. Dufek's in his mirrors, locks up. Thank you very much. Textbook intimidation. Nicely done from Pepe Marti. And now Zagazeta has got Aidan Neate all over the back of him. The British driver Aidan Neate in Formula Regional for the first time this campaign, putting on a good show. And here comes the move. Oh, a big error as Dufek gets Marti back again. Take that, sunshine. Marti's trying to get him back. No, you don't. Joshua Dufek responds valiantly. I'm not letting any cheap overtakes get away this time, says Josh Dufek. And he makes the move back on Pepe Marti into 6th position. Now there's Beganovic. What's the gap between Megatunov and Antonelli? 9/10 of a second. He's going to be in the slipstream very soon indeed. Now watch again. This is the move. A little twitch there from Pepe Marti. That's enough for Joshua Dufek to get back through. Marti tries to cut back on the inside. No chance. So Antonelli is now within a second. He's just done a 1:48.4 compared to Megatunov on a 1:49.0. Here we go again. This time Marti is defending from Zagazeta. Pepe Marti of Spain versus the Peruvian Matías Zagazeta. And Aidan Neate is right in there as well. Marti, Zagazeta and Neate. And behind them is Nikita Bedrin, up from the back of the grid to 10th. Great comeback from Bedrin. Then it's Bora, Indra-Fivazak, Hahn, Boya, Mini, Mashio, Browning, Montoya, Revej and Brashi from Kulin, Mavlutiov and Wang Shengwei. Still just the 4 retirements that we saw on the first lap. Everybody else is still going. But Zagazeta is now under pressure from Aidan Neate. And Bedrin is trying to score a few more points than 10th place would give him. 10th place is only going to give him 1 point. So still a long way to go. Still a good battle. And still great racing to come here. A phenomenal duel. Megatunov leading, Antonelli second. The gap comes down to 9/10 of a second, but Antonelli is already quicker in sector 2, comparable in sector 1. But check this out, Antonelli is visibly catching Megatunov now, and he's got time. He's got plenty of opportunity. He comes across the line, and he's gained another 2/10. 0.8 of a second back. He'll gain a lot of that in the slipstream. But he needs another good lap to really get on terms with Sami Megatunov. At the moment, he's in a really difficult position. 8/10 back. He's in the washout zone. Fastest lap of the race, Joshua Dufek, a 1:48.304. The only one lapping at the same pace as Antonelli. Megatunov has really got to pull out the goods here. Nobody in the top 4 has won a race this season. Beganovic is up to 5th. Dufek is up to 6th. Great drive from Beganovic. Good solid run from Dufek. An amazing comeback from Bedrin. Further back in the pack, still good battles. That's Mashio going wheel to wheel with Gabriele Mini. But it's not really where Gabriele Mini wanted to be. And behind him, that's Sebastian Montoya trying to make a recovery. So this is an R&B sandwich on high-tech bread. Contact between cars 13 and 52 will be investigated after the race. So that is the collision between Joshua Dufek and Luke Browning. So that's going to be investigated after the race, apparently. Here's the battle for the win. Antonelli, fractionally quicker in sector 1, a 10th quicker in sector 2. It's now or never for Kimi Antonelli, and he knows it. Andrea Kimi Antonelli chasing down Sami Megatunov for the victory here in Kuwait Motor Town. Andrea Kimi Antonelli is the championship leader. He hasn't won a race yet in 2023. He's so close to it, he can taste the champagne, but he wants to go for it. Here's the gap, down to 7/10 of a second. Antonelli still putting Megatunov under massive pressure. But even if he doesn't win, if he finishes in 2nd place, Andrea Kimi Antonelli is going to extend his lead in the championship. Dirksen in a solid 3rd. Lucia is 4th, Beganovic is 5th. Antonelli gaining in the slipstream. And he is fractionally quicker again. Sector 1 takes you down to the braking zone for turn 2. Then they're into sector 2, down the corkscrew, around the long, bending, winding spoon curve of the left-hander. I call it the spoon curve, because of course that's the shape it creates. Then through the right-hand variation, up to the chicane. You really can tell Megatuniv's under pressure here. Another fastest lap, and it's Josh Dufek again. It's a 1:47.9. Joshua Dufek is flying. 2.5 minutes to go, and Dufek is eating up the road in front of Dino Beganovic ahead of him. So Joshua Dufek going well, Joshua Dirksen going well as well. Third position, just holding on to the points for the podium. But can Kimi Antonelli intimidate Sami Megatuniv enough to go for the victory? He's dropped Joshua Dirksen, he's caught Sami Megatuniv, but can he get close enough to go for the lead? He's got a neat opportunity here, but the gap is still at about 0.7 of a second. He was actually slower in Sector 2 that time round. Megatuniv drifts wide though, so the gap is going to be 0.9 of a second. Megatuniv responding big time in Sector 2. He's holding off Antonelli, and we go into the penultimate lap. I think Andrea Kimi Antonelli's really going to have to pull out something special. And while all his other competitors have had problems, he might be able to salvage a second place and stay out of trouble and extend his lead in the championship. The win doesn't have to come this time, Kimi. You can wait for Tuesday or Wednesday when we return to the Kuwait Motor Town circuit. Second place would more than do. Sami Megatuniv still leads. Second is Kimi, and that would be enough to pick up the rookie win as well and extend his lead in the championship. It's a phenomenal thing to be saying in only the second round of his entire Formula Regional career. But Andrea Kimi Antonelli has been the smoothest one out there over the 6 races so far. He's just kept banging in points, banging in finishes. Yes, he retired from race 2, but he certainly wasn't in the chaos factor. He didn't make any mistakes. He didn't bin it into the side of anybody. The left rear suspension just happened to collapse. Antonelli is still not giving up on the win though. He still feels it's possible. Quicker than Megatuniv in Sector 2. But can he stay with him? Can he catch him? Time is going to be close at the line here. Are we going to have 2 laps to go or 1 lap to go? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is going to be the last lap. So we go into the last lap. Sami Megatuniv in front of Kimi Antonelli. The last lap. Can he catch it? 0.8 of a second is the gap. But Sami Megatuniv is keeping it nice and tidy. Antonelli is doing everything he can to put the Frenchman under pressure. Dirksen is 3rd. Vlusha is 4th. Beganovic is 5th. It looks like it could end that way. Megatuniv has got to be comfortable here. Antonelli is boisterous, still pushing. Taking every risk he can to close up on Sami Megatuniv. Come on, come on! Kimi Antonelli digging deep. Surely I can find a little bit more time. Surely I can put him into a mistake. Surely I can snatch the lead on the last lap. Antonelli will not give up, nor will Sami Megatuniv. In the first 4 races of this year, Sami Megatuniv had not managed to finish a single race. If he could bounce back in style here in Kuwait with a worthy victory, that would salvage some pride after a very tricky start to his campaign. But Kimi Antonelli wants the win. Come on, make the mistake, thinks Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Come on, I can have you. I can beat you. 2 corners to go, and surely Sami Megatuniv isn't going to lose this now. 1 corner to go. The charge down the hill, over the crest they will go. Antonelli runs wide. Surely that's cost him the victory chance. Sami Megatuniv doesn't even need to make a clean breast of the final corner. He can just take his time. It's a brilliant try from the Frenchman, and he so deserves the win. Sami Megatuniv wins in Kuwait. There at last. The misery of Dubai is ancient history. Incroyable, formidable. Sami Megatuniv wins in Kuwait. Andrea Kimi Antonelli's first win of 2023 will have to wait. But he extends his lead in the championship. That will do nicely. Joshua Dirksen in third position, a smooth race. Flusha and Beganovic in the top 5 for Mumbai Falcons. Dufek in a brilliant P6. Marty in 7th. Zagazeta in 8th. And the final points positions go to Nikita Bedrin and Aidan Neate. That was real racing. Sami Megatuniv finally gets a good result. And it's not just any result, it's the win. Thoroughly deserved. So much bad luck in Dubai. Didn't even look close to the win when he knew he had the pace to do it. Here in Kuwait, they said enough of this. We can win. We're going to win. We're going to show you what we can do. And Sami Megatuniv totally deserves the win. Such a hard job all the way through these last couple of weeks. He was miserable in Dubai. He was crestfallen. He said to me when I spoke to him, I know I can do better than this. I know I can win races. I wish I could show everybody what I could do. Golden opportunity. Hashtag challenge accepted. Victory acquired. Well done to Sami Megatuniv. Now everybody knows what you can do. Such a solid race drive from the Frenchman. Kimi fans will still need to wait for him to stand on the top step of the podium, but you know what? It doesn't matter. He actually extends his lead in the Drivers' Championship, regardless of that. Third for Dirksen, his first podium. That makes up a little for yesterday. And the Paraguayan, I'm fairly sure, is the first from his nation to stand on the podium out in the Middle East. Andrea Kimi Antonelli is already back in pit road. Second place will do. He extends his lead in the championship. The win will have to wait, but the rookie is still the championship leader. Would you believe it? Third place for Joshua Dirksen. Solid points and a solid podium. But Sami Megatuniv is soaking this moment up. He's taking his time on the slowing down lap. After the misery of Dubai in all 3 races, after the misery of Kuwait in race 1, he bounced back with some strong drives in race 2, but now he's a winner. Well done to Josh Dirksen. The podium that they knew they could pull off. The Paraguayan in 3rd position, and he's very happy about it. Well done. Great job. But here at last comes our race winner for France. Cruising down pit lane. And Sami Megatuniv can enjoy the spoils of victory. We're going to have to wait for our moment. It's taken him such a long time to come in. But now here he is. Sami Megatuniv, the latest winner in Formula Regional Middle East. 6 races, 5 different winners, and a very deserving one indeed in Sami Megatuniv. Such a prolific racer in France and in the international karting competitions. He stepped up through F4. Here he is in Formula Regional, a winner. After the heartbreak of Dubai, that is the perfect tonic. Victory. Tu as gagné, Sami Megatuniv. You are the winner. What a result for the boys at MP Motorsport, and in particular for Sami Megatuniv. All the pressure in the world, he did not budge. Such a great drive. And I promise you, over the rest of his career, that'll be the first of many. Sami Megatuniv wins from Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Joshua Dirksen is 3rd. Lorenzo Flusha and Dino Beganovic in the top 5. Joshua Dufek, a great valiant effort in 6th. From Pepe Marti, Matis Zagazeta, Nikita Bedrin and Aidan Neate in the points. Nikhil Bora is 11th in front of Taz Indravovazak, Mari Boya, Han Chen-Yu and Giovanni Mascio. Sebastian Montoya, Devento Devej, Francesco Braschi and Gabriele Mini in front of his teammate Luke Browning. A tough day for High-Tech. 21st for Niels Kulin, Dan Mavlyutyov ahead of Wang Zhongwei. And then the retirements, we saw Barnard and Kamara collide, and Villa Gomez and Shin collide on the opening lap. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that for Kuwait Motor Town round 2. What a brilliant battle. Let's talk you through the best bits of race 3. Tuniv's got the perfect launch. Dirksen's got ahead of Barnard. On the first lap, 2 or 3 cars having an issue. Montoya spinning around. Oh, and there's a collision. That's the Mumbai Falcons car going around with the collision from Barnard. This is the run down to the first corner. Nothing wrong in the first 2 between the 2 teammates, Megatuniv and Dirksen. Look, they give each other just about enough space. But watch Montoya. He's the one that pirouettes around. There might have been a little bit of a love tap there. Shin and Villa Gomez have a big accident behind them. Big contact. But then what we're about to see, if we go a little bit further round as well, is that Kamara getting his run on the inside, round the outside, Kamara and Barnard. Barnard doesn't give enough space. Kamara commits around the outside, and they just tangle. I would say that's a racing incident between those 2. I don't think you could really point the finger at one driver or the other. Kamara feeling like he could run into the contenders. But still, the battles are raging here. No, my apologies, that's the 15 of Nikita Bedri. Down to the breakers. Oh, more problems, more contact. That's Dufek getting a little bit too close to Luke Browning. Whoa, hopping and skipping over the cut. Antonelli's through as Dirksen runs off the road. Antonelli runs off the road as well. That got, so look, Antonelli's caught the bollard on the inside. Dirksen's caught it on the outside, and they've both run off the road. Antonelli just able to keep it on, and then so too Dirksen. What is that? Look at Flusha putting Marty under pressure. He's got up alongside. Can he cover him off? Flusha is through. Lovely overtake. But can Flusha? But here comes Beganovic on the inside, round the outside. Beganovic holds it round the outside and gets past Pepe Season, the championship leader. Here comes the big move from Marty. But Dufek is going to hold it, is he? No, Marty intimidated. Now watch again. This is the move. A little twitch there from Pepe Marti. That's enough for Joshua Dufek to get back through. So deserves the win. Sami Megatuniv wins in Kuwait. There at last. The misery of Dubai. Here he is in Formula Regional. A winner. After the heartbreak of Dubai, it's great to see Sami Megatuniv come through for the race victory, which he richly deserved after all of that hard work and effort. It was always going to be a very tough race here at the Kuwait Motor Town, a race circuit that nobody's ever been to before in single-seater racing. There's only ever been one major international race before this event, which was back in December, the 12 hours. But certainly for single-seater action, it had never happened before. Now the teams and drivers know what to expect. So when we return to more race action for the Formula Regional Middle East Championship on Tuesday and Wednesday, yes, you've only got 3 days to wait for more. It's really going to be exciting stuff. We now know that this is a driver's circuit, a real racer's challenge, and it's the longest circuit in the Middle East, and it's definitely up there against the likes of Yas Marina, against the likes of Sakhir, Lusail in Qatar, and of course the Dubai Autodrome in the United Arab Emirates. This place really has made a bombastic impression on world motorsport. The message from Kuwait Motor Town is pretty simple. We're here, we're ready. A fabulous opening weekend of international single-seater competition from Kuwait Motor Town. It's a tough circuit, a big challenge. It may not be finished yet, the infrastructure around the circuit delayed by the pandemic. But once these guys put their mind to something, not only do they get it done in spades. It's going to be a really amazing development, this circuit, designed by the F1 architect Herman Tilke. And I've got a feeling that this place is just scratching the surface. This is the iceberg race circuit right now. We're only seeing 10% of its potential. The rest of it is under the surface, ready to rise to the top. A great performance from all of the drivers. Magnificent again from the Tartus car, from the Alfa Romeo engines, from the GT tyres, from everybody. All of the partners putting this amazing 2023 campaign together. And what a fantastic show it has proved to be. We're going to stick around for the podium ceremony because we want to see Josh Dirksen, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Sami Megatuniv on the podium. And it looks like we're ready to begin now.
Now it's the winning drivers. Third place, number 63, from Hyderabad, Blackbirds by MP Motorsport, Joshua Dirksen.
So for third position, Joshua Dirksen, who carries the flag of Paraguay onto the podium. That's a big moment for his nation. Kimi continues his amazing rookie campaign. No victories overall, but he leads the championship and is pulling away. But now comes the victor. Sami Megatuniv, the latest French megastar. His first win in Formula Regional out here in the Middle East, and it could just open the floodgates. So the very proud Paraguayan on third position on the podium, Joshua Dirksen. What a great result for him. Andrea Kimi Antonelli just keeps on continuing on, marching to the title, despite the fact he hasn't picked up a race win yet. All these podiums and points will mean prizes if he continues. But Sami Megatuniv is your winner today. A great job for the Frenchman and for the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP Motorsport. A terrific run and a brilliant opening race weekend at Kuwait Motor Town. Thank you to everybody at Kuwait Motor Town. You guys have made this so worth it. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite international race circuits in motorsport. It's got a way to go to be the number one, but what a first impression. Time for the rose water to go bananas. And we are here to bow out of Formula Regional Middle East. We return here at Kuwait on Tuesday. Just as you're getting over it, we get to do it all over again. Can Kimi Antonelli extend his title battle? Can he win his first race? Will there be new men on the top step of the podium? Tune in on Tuesday to find out. I'm Jake Sanson. Thank you for your company. Let's do it all again in 3 days' time.
Yes, it's me. And no, it's not cricket. But it's the same energy. It's not between the runs, but the laps. It's not between two teams, but many to come. It's not just between the players, but also their machines. Sweat, not in the jerseys, but in their gears. It's about the race this time. Show up to cheer for Mumbai.